Okay, you guys, we have had some major events happening in the past couple days. I got a Skype yesterday from Brent Spiner, and I'm going to be reading this like an audiobook, the conversation that I had with Brent. Lizzo has been going on a rampage with her pink bombs. The casualties have been at least 7 million worldwide. Also, one of the Lizzo Jesuits murdered Paul Reubens. So I will be reading a Skype between me and my husband, Brent Spiner, who is the president. And I'm pretty good. I'm a pretty good reader and voice actress, so you should be able to tell which is which. But I'll start off identifying who. Brent Spiner. Whoa, look what I found on Reddit. And then this is me. What is that? Well, we know Lizzo launches nukes all the time. It looks like she's getting brazen. Lizzo is setting off these pink nukes much more frequently now. Did you hear? She also murdered Paul Reubens, Pee Wee Herman. Oh, I read about that on Facebook. Why'd she do that? He was sitting in a theater watching the premiere of new episodes based on the book series. This would have been Gail, the complete series. It's like how producers show movies to an exclusive audience before the movie is fully finished, only it's been showing the new episodes to celebrities to see what they think of it. Pee-wee likes to masturbate while he watches movies in a theater. While he was masturbating, a fat black Lizzo Jesuit came up from behind him and began to strangle him. They took advantage of Pee-wee while he was maximally aroused, as in right before ejaculating, so he couldn't resist. He ejaculated while suffocating and died. Our teams immediately knew it was a Lizzo Jesuit because of the trail of fried chicken crumbs she left behind. Can't a guy run away even if he's ejaculating? Perhaps he underestimated his opponent and preferred ejaculating to running away? Sounds like Lizzo. That's one of her favorite strategies. She'll cause you to think that what you're doing, like buying new electronics, is relatively harmless, and you don't realize just how dangerous it is. She knows how to get us to let down our guard and is a master at attacking our weak moments. Sometimes when a man is close to the edge, it's impossible to stop whatever he's doing. It's also common for them to become sexually imprinted on whatever happens during that phase. Sexually imprinted? Yeah, it's sometimes how people develop fetishes. Gerard Butler explained the psychology to me. When a person is sexually aroused and orgasms, their brain can get confused and associate the orgasm with whatever situation or object was present when they orgasmed. Pee-wee basically got turned on by the autoerotic asphyxiation and didn't realize the danger he was in. Oh, I see. So this fat black woman got on top of him? She was behind him with a chicken wire and slipped the wire around his neck and yanked it back to strangle him. So the wire was rolled into a log shape and put around his neck like a rope. It was just one thin piece of wire, so more like a string. Did she decapitate him? Nope, he was just strangled. I imagine the wire really dug into his skin. We found him dead, sitting in a puddle of his own semen in the movie theater. Was anyone else in the movie theater hurt? Was this in Hollywood? It was in Hollywood, yes. Nobody else was hurt, but it did scare many of the celebrities present. It was like a warning for them to back off and to not support this series. How far along are they in the series? Are you all keeping up with my latest stories? They make the episodes as you write them and edit them based on any major changes made. I love the latest chapter. Is this being shown at the theaters or on television? It premieres in the exclusive movie theaters for celebrities first, and then shows on the Gabriel Chana Fox News Network as soon as the episode is finalized. So when I make edits, they do the edits at the same time? Geez, my writing is really hot. It's the hottest thing in Hollywood and in world media right now. No wonder Satan's so upset. No wonder Lizzo is pissed. They're reporting pink nuclear mushroom clouds all over the world. What's in those nukes? I'm thinking I need to add another short story to my list now, and I'm gathering research. At the rate Lizzo's going, I'll be writing this forever. Studying the clouds, we've detected the presence of mites, allergens, yeast, radioactive material, and fat girl fart toxin. We have issued an advisory to put on gas masks for anyone within a 20-mile radius of the bombs. So these nukes can make people retarded? Where have the nukes been launched thus far? Yeah, anyone standing close. Maybe so that they become too retarded to understand the intelligence, depth, and nuance of the Gail series. That makes sense. Is my Gail shield helping with the nukes? They're launching all over the U.S., especially in the South and on the West Coast. Bombs are also being reported in the U.K., Russia, Australia, China, and Japan. Yeah, the Gail shield is our biggest help right now. We need to do everything we can to make it as strong as possible, with Lizzo upping these nuclear attacks and strengthening her bombs. I haven't seen any like these near Huntsville, so my Gail shield's protecting me from them? Where in the South have they been launched? I just used my modulator to try and destroy these bombs. Florida and Texas are being hit the hardest. Where in Florida and Texas? The Gail shield has been especially strong over Alabama, so the bombs have a harder time penetrating it to get to you. Melbourne, Jacksonville, Orlando, and Miami have all reported bombs in Florida. In Texas, they've hit Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio. Do I need to make a video about this? Or are most people watching Gabriel Chana Fox News? I'll make a video by Thursday for sure. What kind of damage are the bombs doing on the ground? Are they hitting the ground? A video by Thursday would be helpful. Viewers have been asking for you to comment on this issue and reassure them that we're in on it. They have strong respect for you. The bombs create nuclear destruction on the ground. The ones around Alabama haven't been hitting the ground and are staying in the atmosphere above the shield. Lizzo has tried to drop them on Huntsville many times. What kind of destruction are they doing on the ground? Are any people dying from them? They leave behind blasts in the ground, forming a crater, burning down nearby trees and buildings. The air smells like a mix of cotton candy and fried chicken. However, for people close enough to the bombs to report this smell, they also become retarded. How large is the crater? People directly under the blast are killed, while the rest in a direct radius of it become retarded. Everyone else becomes sick with mites and allergies. What has been the death toll thus far? The craters can be up to 100 miles wide. The current death toll for these worldwide attacks is around 7 million. Oh no! Is there anything people can do to protect themselves? About 6 times that amount of people have been rendered severely retarded. Other than wearing face masks, of course, where do they get the face masks? They can get gas masks at Home Depot. Regular medical masks like the COVID masks make the retardation worse. Why would they make the retardation worse? Everyone needs to pay particular attention to their finances, making sure to obey the Gail commandments involving saving money. Our economy has noticeably dipped from people overspending themselves into debt. This occurred recently over the past couple months. The COVID masks trap the fumes toward the face and don't filter the air like the gas masks do. People may stop doing the Gail commandments to do their daily walks over this. Any advice to give them? They can go for walks wearing their gas masks. Wow, that bitch Lizzo. As President of the U.S., what would you like to say to the people about this? Do you have any statements you want me to read? Just curious, what does Melbourne look like right now? You have any pictures of the damage on the ground in some places? Is my old apartment still up? As U.S. President, it is with heavy heart that I now mourn with the nation over the terrible tragedy of the death of Paul Reubens, Pee Wee Herman. He will always be in remembrance in our hearts and in our movie theaters. He died loving Gail. I stand by our people in doing the Gail commandments to protect our nation from the relentless pink bombs being dropped all over our innocent citizens, rendering them itchy and retarded. I now don a pink gas mask in solidarity with my people. You must all wear them every day before going outside. Do I need to wear a gas mask going outside, or does my Gail shield protect me? The CDC has also issued warnings about these bombs, stating, if you smell a fart, back to start, meaning if you smell the bombs, to immediately evacuate the area and seek medical attention. The Gail shield protects you and Huntsville. How far does my Gail shield protect from Huntsville? Your old apartment is currently the only thing standing in Melbourne, Florida. It looks like Lizzo spared the apartment complex because she is allies with your old landlord. Are my Walmart former coworkers dead? The shield protects all of Huntsville out to the city limits. What about Natasha, my Walmart coworker, or when I worked there? Your coworkers are all alive and made it. Natasha is safe too. How'd they survive? Are they retarded? So the rest of Alabama outside of Huntsville is vulnerable? I hear brain to brain you're building Church of Gail cities all over the place to help those who lost their homes. I hope these have domes over them to protect from bombs. Your co-workers were able to hide underground in a bomb shelter we built underneath Walmart. Alabama still has the strongest areas of Gail shield, with Huntsville being the epicenter. People outside Huntsville are encouraged to wear gas masks if able, to prevent allergies and mites drifting down from the atmosphere. A lot of my co-workers no longer work at that Walmart. Natasha worked elsewhere. They don't have to work at Walmart to use the bomb shelter underneath the Walmart where you worked. It's enormous. When the sirens went off, anybody nearby was ushered down into the shelter. It's like an underground city? Yeah, almost. Good job. Boy, Lizzo keeps us busy. I take it most of Tennessee is under the Gail shield then, too. If Huntsville is the epicenter of protection, then much of Tennessee and Georgia should be safe. So I take it my son and sister are fine then. I'm almost in Tennessee. Huntsville is far north in Alabama, not that far from Atlanta either. Yeah, Georgia hasn't been hit at all. These are some of the pictures from Florida. The location of these shots? Miami, Orlando, and part of Melbourne. So the first one's Miami, the second one's Orlando, the third one's Melbourne. Which part of Melbourne? I used to live there, so I'd know. Which part of Miami? Most of Melbourne looks like this. What has Ron DeSantis' response been to all this? Unbelievable. This is just unbelievable. The third photo is from near the airport. The Melbourne airport where I used to walk? Near there? The other one is Miami Beach, a little north of where you used to walk. Are people in these devastated areas able to get Gabriel Chan of Fox News like on their phones? I guess they could through my website. Yes, on their phones if they still have them. I imagine you've instituted some sort of emergency broadcast for the phones as well. Yeah, we also have emergency bomb cloud alerts that go off as soon as one is detected, so people can get to shelter. Is emergency housing available? And how do people get to them? We are setting up emergency tent cities in the affected areas. Meanwhile, we're trying to rebuild structures as quickly as we can. Most Melbourne citizens are using the bomb shelter below Walmart. Melbourne is completely unrecognizable, totally covered in rubble. Oh, you mean above ground in Melbourne? This is like the biblical tribulation. Oh my God, Brent said, we just got another one. Where did it hit? That looked like Florida. Can we build domes all over the place to protect from these bombs? Yeah, this happened up in Lake City, Florida. We can try. Right now, I've issued a state of emergency order for Florida. All citizens are instructed to stay inside and take cover with their gas masks. Does Ron DeSantis live on Church of Gail? Yes, he's with us. We're giving him all the FEMA support we can. I told him we're going to start building domes over all major cities. I've noticed Lizzo is launching the bombs where those in our government are ruling or in territories of the world that support me and you the most. Looks like it. She may be avoiding Georgia because your sister lives there. Though we have rulers in Germany and Israel, and those areas seem immune thus far. Knowing how resourceful Jews are, they probably have a dome in place. One more question. When did Lizzo start doing this bombing that resulted in casualties on the ground? It's been within about the last 48 hours, and I'd like to inject that would be 72 hours because I'm making this video a day late. She seemed to use Pee Wee's murder as her jumping off point to start terrorizing the nation with her bombs. You know what I think? When she decided she couldn't stop me from writing Gail the Complete series, she decided to go all out. Yeah, she's throwing a tantrum. She's been trying one thing after another to sabotage my work on Gail the Complete series, and thus far, I've found ways to work around the problem she's created, and so now she's having a fit. Yeah, like she's crashed my external hard drive, and I've discovered that KFX files on my Kindle, I cannot convert them to anything. So if my Kindle crashes, I'm going to lose a lot of my books, and I use those books, like a lot of them are writing instruction books, and they help me with Gail the Complete series. That appears to be an accurate observation. So she's been, basically creating problems, and I've been able to overcome them and keep going forward with Gail the Complete series. Suggestion, Brent, you can take it or leave it, but it may be a good idea to put domes over all major cities in our countries, especially those that have the most Gail supporters, since that seems to be her targets. That's a good idea. We're getting to work on building these domes now. So yeah, I've been working with Brent to come up with ways to deal with these bombs. Yeah, and we're working with our military. In the meanwhile, follow the advice that you heard Brent give in this conversation that I just read.